Welcome back to yet another episode of MSU Sports Circle, the defining voice in all things sports. I'm your host, Justin Neely, and join with me as always are my fellow colleagues, Matt Johnson, Adrena Anderson, and Trey Codwell. How's everyone doing?
Good.
All right, let's get right into it. Today we're bringing you a little something new. It's called our 30-second buzzer beaters. What I'm going to do is ask each of my analysts a question. They have 30 seconds to respond. When the stop sign appears, then you move on to the next subject. We're going to give you a quick preview with 2 questions. Everybody good? Mm-hmm. Trey, Stephon Marbury getting a statue in China is?
It's appropriate. I mean, you know, coming out of Georgia Tech, he seemed like he was a shoo-in to be a great NBA athlete. Talent-wise, he was there, but some off-the-court issues really hurt him, you know, getting into it with coaches and being fined and other miscellaneous things. But after, you know, eventually being, you know, leaving the league and going overseas to China, he eventually led his team to a championship. Foreigners can't get MVP, so they gave him a statue instead. I think it's very appropriate, very fitting.
Okay. Well, granted, he'll never get one at the Garden. Sad to say. Great hooper in his prime. But he is getting one in China. Adrena, Coach Petrino being fired from Arkansas after this issue is?
Scandalous. The whole situation was not handled properly by Bobby. He had 10 days to tell the truth about the situation, and he decided to mislead the public and mislead the athletic department at Arkansas. This coach came in and took this program and made it a better program. He trained these boys to be better football players, and he came in giving them that win mentality. And now him being fired, where does this leave these players? Where does this leave these boys who have been relying on this coach to make them better? Okay.
Well, one thing is for certain, it definitely was an unexpected decision, but in a year in college football where it's gotten kind of cutthroat, should have came to nobody's surprise. Let's jump right into college basketball. We now have a new NCAA men's basketball champion. Shout out to University of Kentucky. Let's run through the game. Tell us a bit about it. Can this team be compared to the legendary Fab Five?
To me, the game was it wasn't what I thought it would be. Kansas came in and they did not play like they deserved to be there. There was never one point in the game where I thought that UK was going to lose the game. UK had control of the entire game, and in the last couple minutes of the game, Kansas was like, okay, well now let's play like we deserve to be in the national championship. To me, they pulled a LSU, played like they didn't deserve to be there. Somebody else could have came out and did the same exact thing Kansas did if that was the case.
Yeah, Thomas Robinson came out, and he looked like he was the only player that was really wanting to play for Kansas. I mean, you know, the UK had the lead 41-27 at half, and it's kind of difficult, you know, to pull yourself out of that situation and, you know, to overcome that. It's very difficult, but I'm very, very pleased with Thomas Robinson, who had 18 and 17. And Anthony Davis held Anthony Davis to 6 points.
As far as what you said, can you compare them to the Fab Five? I say they came back for season 2. You probably could. I mean, that team had a pretty good, solid, you know, starting 5, and this one's had a good, solid 5, and that would be 2 championships appearance and 2 for Kentucky. But I don't think it's fair to say that because we all know this team is going to be one and done.
Okay, well, Trey, same question follows. Can you throw this UK team out with the Fab Five, the legendary Fab Five?
I think you can, honestly, to disagree with Matt. I mean, you got to look at it as in Fab Five was an amazing team, not to take anything away from the Fab Five. They were a great team. They got to the finals twice, didn't win it, though. I understand that it's a one-and-done team, but they got it done in the 1 year that they needed. I mean, it's great. I mean, I love it. I don't love UK, but I love the team itself.
Okay. With that being said, we have to go to UK's head coach. Can he now, Coach Calipari, now that he's gotten that one elusive ring, can he now be considered an elite coach in the NCAA?
He always was, I believe. I don't think just because he won the ring, all of a sudden he becomes an elite coach. He's had success all the way up to the 90s back in UMass, so up to now. It was just one of those things. He just couldn't get over that hump to get the ring, which he finally did. It just puts more icing on the cake. But he's always, in my personal opinion, he's always been an elite coach.
Okay. But we're definitely going to continue this discussion, right after these commercial breaks.
Good job.
Now, before the commercial break, we were discussing whether or not Coach Cal is an elite coach in the NCAA after winning this ring. Matt said he always has been since UMass. It's just this was the hump. He got over the hump, and now all the hard work paid off. Other opinions?
I definitely agree. He's been with the UK program 3 years. He's brought in amazing recruits. Every year he has consistently brought in great players. And I think after winning this national championship, he's only going to continue to bring in better players. He's starting a legacy for UK. And I think that he will have more rings to add to his collection very soon.
I agree with the latter of that. He is starting a legacy, but he has one ring. John Wooden has, what, 10 or 11? Coach K has 4. Bob Knight, Jim Calhoun have 3, and he has 1. And you're going to put them. I feel like he's on the same level as Jim Boeheim and Rick Pitino. He's not a bad coach. I don't see him as being, a horrible coach, but I mean he's not elite. Elite. That speaks volumes about a coach if you're going to say he's elite.
I think he is. I think the rings are about to start piling up for him. He's bringing in amazing players for this program, amazing players. And you see the last 3 seasons, they've been close to doing it. And all these players are top NBA prospects. I don't see how you cannot say that he's going to be an elite.
Because he has 1 ring. He has 1.
Many to come.
As of now, he's not elite. Maybe in the near future, he may be elite, but as of today, he's not elite.
As soon as he took over that UK program, moves started to be made, better recruits started coming in. I think that we will see big things from him.
Well, one thing is for certain, some agree, some disagree. Here on Sports Circle, we'll just have to agree to disagree, but it looks like the ball is not going to stop rolling at the University of Kentucky. Moving on, it's only right that we talk about the ladies. Baylor dominated the entire women's NCAA season, so why should we be shocked that they dominated the tournament and ultimately won it all? Can we get a recap?
A lot of Brittany Griner. 26 and 13 to be exact. She shot 11 for 16. She was very consistent. She attacked early. She attacked often.
I agree. Brittany Griner was the key to their season. And with women's basketball, you always kind of know who's going to be in the Final Four. It's always the 1 seeds or the 2 seeds. And Baylor went undefeated their entire season. So I felt like going into the tournament, it was Baylor's national championship to win. And they did exactly what they needed to do. They played their game. Griner made her blocks. She played her position very well, and she didn't let down the entire tournament, and they got that national title.
Okay, now I feel, and this is strictly my personal opinion, I don't know if the panel agrees, that Brittany Griner is the most dominant force in college basketball. Not women's, but college basketball. Personally, I would hesitate more driving the lane on her than Anthony Davis, and that says a lot. But other than Brittany Griner, was she the key to success, or did everyone else chip in?
I feel like it was a great team effort. Skylar Diggins did have 20 points, but I mean, besides that, the rest of the Notre Dame team was just held in check. So I mean, it was great defense by the whole Baylor team as a whole, not just Brittany Griner. I feel like perimeter defense was great. Everything was perfect for them.
Okay, and it has been announced that both stars, respectively, of both these programs are coming back. Can we expect a repeat?
I think so. Brittany Griner is very dominant. It's hard to defend her, and when she gets in her zone, you can't stop her. I would say it's safe to say that I see a repeat from Baylor.
Yeah, I can most definitely see a repeat. I mean, unless there's another 6'8", 6'9" female that's walking around playing basketball that's going to stop Brittany Griner. I mean, like you said, she's the most dominant force.
Well, one thing is for certain, shout out to both programs. They played extremely well, and there will be more MSU Sports Circle after this break.
What's wrong, dude? Second guessing that cheeseburger? Maybe you should take another look at that before you eat it.
Don't eat me.
Now how could you be thinking of eating that when really you're thinking of a slow-cooked chili-covered Geo-Dog with cheese with your selected choice of chips? Throw that thing away. Located on the first floor behind the elevator.
What about me?
We talked about the NCAA. Now it's time to talk about the big dogs. Season has been amazing so far in the NBA. MVP race continues with some of his recent performances, minus a few here and there. Do you think that LeBron has this year's MVP award pretty much wrapped up?
All depends how the season ends up, I think. I mean, it's like I believe it's only 3 players that we can even consider.
Which are?
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and his 1-2 punch, which is Russell Westbrook. I know that might be a surprise by some, but his individual performance has just been phenomenal this past, second half of the season. So no, it's not. The race is not over. It's nowhere close to being over.
I don't think it's a wrap for anybody. Like he said, you have Kevin Durant averaging 28, you have LeBron averaging 27. They're good, but you know the unsung hero here is Kevin Love, who's averaging 27 points and 14 rebounds, getting it done on the glass too. I know his team isn't really winning that much, but you know Ricky Rubio went out. Michael Beasley has been inconsistent, so I mean it's difficult for him to lead his team without having a second leading scorer in the top 10. But I mean he's going out dropping 50 every other night. So I mean
the thing with that, and I don't mean to cut you off. It's in our business, it's about who's winning. When you're not winning and you go unnoticed, you can put up 100 numbers, Wilt Chamberlain, and it doesn't matter because look at your record. Minnesota Timberwolves are nowhere close to even going to playoffs.
I agree that LeBron is a top contender for the MVP award, but I also think that Kevin Durant isn't too far behind him. Now, in order for Durant to win that award, he's going to have to play spectacular ball. LeBron is always going to put up numbers. That's what LeBron James does. No matter if it's an iffy game for him or if it's just an amazing game for him, he's always going to do work. So in order for Kevin Durant to take that award from him, which is possible, he's going to have to play spectacular ball from here on out.
Okay, let's transition to a program that's been getting a lot of spotlight here before and after trade, the Lake Show. Now, y'all know I had to talk about it. Andrew Bynum, Mike Brown. They're not
no
clicking
respect.
right now.
They have no respect for Coach Brown. There's no respect. They take this man as a joke. Andrew Bynum, maybe he did, but I don't recall him doing this with Phil Jackson last year. So this has been a disaster down there. I mean, yes, they're still in the playoffs. Yes, they're going to get a good seed. But will they get anything done? No, they will not. Coach Brown and Bynum, I don't know.
So my
Words can't describe
question to the panel is it Andrew Bynum or is it Mike Brown that's hurting the Lakers right now?
I say it's both.
I say it's both, but I feel like it's more on Mike Brown. I mean, Bynum's averaging 18 and 11. He's thrown up games of 21 points, 22 rebounds, 37 points, 16 rebounds, and 25 points, 18 rebounds. All that's coming in this year. I don't see how you can hurt your team if you're going out and putting up numbers like this.
I mean, I agree. I think Bynum is just showing the true player that he really is and how he plays ball. And I don't think that he's hurting the team the way that everybody's trying to make it out that he is.
What are some things that we can expect from the Lakers?
I think eventually Mike Brown's not going. I don't think he may finish it out this year. I don't think they'll bring him back next year unless he wins a ring.
So you think they should have stuck with Brian Shaw?
Yes, somebody that was already there in the Laker family, that Kobe respected, because Kobe has also been having problems with him too. So I mean, he may not come out and say it, but it seems as if Kobe's having problems with him with the benching and whatnot. So I mean, I don't know. It's just Mike Brown. I don't know. He's not a good coach to me.
He's gone this year. It's over. Coach Brown, one and done.
Okay, and with the addition of Ramon Sessions, that's one thing I really want to touch on. You're seeing a new Lakers.
Yeah.
You know, Bynum, Brown, I know there's drama, but they're fast breaking. I can't remember the last time we've seen the Lake Show fast break like that. Is Ramon Sessions the key?
Yeah,
are they going to make a legitimate playoff run?
I think he is because, Derek Fisher was older. There's nothing wrong with Derek Fisher. He's in OKC. He's doing a great thing at Oklahoma City with the Thunder. But he was older. He didn't really have the ability to run. He's not as fast. He's not as quick as Ramon Sessions. This is what Ramon Sessions does. He runs and he feeds people. He can score, but he's a distributor, and that's what he does. I mean, it fits, and they're not going to win it all, but I think they'll make a great playoff push.
Now, with an established team like the Lakers, who pretty much the team's been playing together for years, do you think it's safe to say that Ramon Sessions is still in the process of earning respect, or has he pretty much got it?
I think he's still earning respect. When you're with a team for that long, you get so comfortable with all the old habits, and when other people come in, you don't really want to hear what they have to say. You're going to have to put up the numbers and prove that you are meant to be here and that you can help this program, and that's what he's going to have to do.
Okay, well, we talked about NCAA, NBA. When we return, we're going to talk MLB.
Oh yeah, that's right. Get the good stuff. The Java City on campus has just what you need to get you going. Located on the first floor of the Camden Carroll Library.
Welcome back. It's now time to talk about MLB. In the MLB offseason, as you know, there were a lot of moves made. Some big contracts signed, with Prince Fielder to Detroit, Jose Reyes to the new look Miami Marlins. They're looking pretty decent, and a host of others. But no move was more talked about than the Los Angeles Angels landing former St. Louis Cardinal, Mr. Wheaties Fuel himself, Prince Albert to many, Albert Pujols. Let me get right to the thoughts on Pujols to LA and how much impact he makes on this team and how this team is going to take over the MLB if they are.
I feel like it brought the team together because, you know, he brings a winning mentality. He's won it twice. He's a two-time World Series champion. Not only that, he averages 37 home runs a year. He had 24 home runs last year in the postseason alone. So, I mean, you know, he's going to bring some bat to the Los Angeles Angels. So, I mean, you know, that plus addition of C.J. Wilson, they're going to be a great team. A real great team. I do expect them to win it all this year.
I definitely think he's a good addition to this team. Like you said, he does bring that winning mentality. He knows how to win. And I just don't think that one player in the sport of baseball can automatically take a team from being mediocre to a championship team. I think it will be a building process. They will have to build on it. But baseball, everybody's got to put up numbers. Everybody's got to be able to get on base and make those game-winning hits. Not just one person can do it.
Okay, he's been a little slow out the gate, not exactly what we're used to. Could this be, you know, sort of like Ocho Cinco in football? Is he filling out this program? I mean, it is a new team. Can we expect Mr. Wheaties Fuel to be back?
You don't want to compare him to Chad Ocho Cinco because if that's the case, we might not go anywhere with this man if that's the case.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I feel like he's just getting comfortable. He's just, you know, he's new to LA.
He's still finding himself.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
Safe to say.
Yeah.
Okay, we already talked about Albert Pujols. Let's quickly touch on the divisions this week. We'll strictly focus on the West and East divisions in both the American and National Leagues. Now in the NL West, things could get interesting. Matt, tell me exactly why.
This is baseball. Anything can happen. Like you said, if you've had big trades that's happened this year, we don't know who can end up coming out this week, spotlighting, end up being a better player from the week before. And you just have to sit back. And one thing with baseball, it's a long season, 100+ games. Very interesting to see what can happen.
All right, other opinions?
I agree on that. Like, you know, you never know what's going to happen. But also you have to look at additions. Like, there have been new people brought into the NL. Like, Jose Reyes left. You know, he went to the Marlins. But, you know, they kept the Mets, speaking of the Mets, they have kept Jason Bay. And that's going to be a real helpful to them because, you know, they're not a real good team. It's just that they're in a weak division. So, I mean, it helps them out.
I would just like to say that a team that I would be on the lookout for is the Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves. This is Chipper Jones' last season. He's already made a statement to the press that he's retiring after this season. The Braves had one of the best seasons they've had in a while last season, and I think that Chipper Jones and the Atlanta Braves have a lot to play for this year. And I think that they're a team to look out for. I think they're going to be able to come in and take everybody by surprise and possibly go to the national championship this year.
Agree or disagree?
I mean,
no opinion. It's like I said, it's too early. You never know.
It is early.
You never know.
But I'm going to go out on a limb. And I don't think they'll get past the Mets. I don't think they'll be able to come out of the National League. I just don't think it's something that's going to happen. I don't know. There's just something about them that's not appealing to me.
Okay, well, one thing is for certain. We are in store for a great MLB season, and here at MSU Sports Circle, we will be covering all of it. When you return, we have more.
Please don't throw that trash on the ground. I know someone is watching. watching me now. Recycle man, recycle man. Please take care of all your waste in a responsible way. Recycle.
The Morehead State University Space Science Center has been established to provide a research and educational facility with state-of-the-art laboratories for undergraduate students in space science. The Star Theater located inside functions as a classroom and public entertainment room featuring laser light shows and 3D movies. To contact the Space Science Center, call 606-783-2381. For events in the Star Theater, call 606-783-9593.
It's now time for MSU Weekly Recap. After only winning 10 games last year, the MSU men's Eagles baseball team definitely looks better this year. Can y'all please tell us some of their upcoming games and what exactly have they done to improve?
Like I said, like you just said, it's improvement. 19-14. They're over 500 this year. 5-4 in the conference. Jay Strong's just got them just rolling. I just think it was just one of those years. It's just like, you know what? We're going to double what we did last year, and we're going to find a way to win more games this year. 4 games this week against Southeast Missouri. Should be very interesting to see how we do, knowing seeing how good they done here at home at 10-4. I'm really excited about this weekend with the baseball team.
Yeah, speaking on that, I feel like that's what's turned them around. I mean, their ability to win at home. That's what in my opinion, has kept their head above water. They need to improve on the road, though. They're only 8-9. They need to work on that.
I think the EKU and the Austin Peay series that are coming up are very important. Right now, the guys are ranked 4th overall in conference, and these 2 teams are ranked ahead of them. So if they can win these series, they can move back up to being ranked 2, possibly 1, and having that higher seed going into the conference tournament will later pay off because you'll be playing a lower seed. You won't have to come up and play one of the better teams in the tournament and risk being knocked out early. Because when you're playing two teams that are equally good, you never know which way it can go.
Okay, 2 questions, and feel free to answer in any order. Moving up to that number 2 seed, how possible is that? Second question, what exactly needs to be done to secure that top spot?
I think it's very possible. The guys have been hitting very, very well, and I think that's been the key to their success this season is their ability to hit the ball so well. And also, them moving back up to that top-ranked spot, I think they're going to have to pretty much win every series that they have coming up. They can't lose to opponents that they shouldn't be losing to. They're just going to have to keep winning and keep hitting and manufacturing runs and putting people on base, and I think that they can continue to win.
All right, well, let's transition to the softball team. The MSU ladies softball team is currently having an iffy season. They're struggling. We see signs of potential. We don't know if they're going to live up to it. What are they doing right, and what do they need? Now, what can they do? What do they need to do to improve?
I mean, the ladies, they're not playing bad games at all. They're not getting blown out by their opponents. And if you go back and you look at the stats, they're winning their games throughout the whole game. And then come the 6th inning, that's when they're losing the game and giving it to the other team. Like I said earlier, it is about going into a game and being able to beat your opponent for all 7 innings of the game. You can't come in the game and win through the 6th inning and then in the 7th inning let up. You got to be able to come in and keep getting hits and keep moving runners over. And I think right now that's where the ladies are struggling.
Does that reflect on Coach Williams, you think, or is it more of both, you think?
I don't think it's lack of coaching. I don't think it is a rebuilding season for the Lady Eagles. It is a new coaching staff, so everybody's learning how to get used to his coaching style. But this is at the college level. You have to be able to transition, and you have to be able to readjust quick, or you're going to lose. You got to be able to put aside all this isn't the coaching that I'm used to, and come out and get the job done and be able to do it the way that this new coach wants.
Okay, quick question. There's an old saying, sharks are born swimming. Let's just keep it at that. Either you got it or you don't, a lot of people say. Either you're a closer, you have the ice in your veins, or that's something that can't be taught. Is this something that can be taught? Is this something that can be donned? Quickly, Trey.
I mean, I don't think it is. Like you said, either you're born with it or you're not. I mean, this is something that either they were born with or they don't have it.
Well, one thing is for certain, we definitely have faith in our Lady Eagles here at MSU Sports Circle, and we will be back with the closing segments right after this commercial break.
For students pursuing a career in the medical health field, come check out the new MSU Share building. The shared building is located right below St. Clair Hospital on Fleming Avenue. This building will offer students the chance to further their understanding of medical health and prepare them for a future with state-of-the-art hands-on classes.
When you got some homework and you need a place to go, when you're working on a project and your computer is slow, there's a little place on campus that I think that you should know about. The first story of the library is what I'm talking about. Walk past Java City and then you will see the new commons area is where you should be. They got computers and printers, couches, tables and more. It's the perfect place to go for study time galore.
Time for, closing segments. Let's get right into the questions. Buzzer beaters. Matt, the chances of Muhammad and Noel committing to UK this evening are?
At first, I thought it was a great chance for both of them committing. To be honest with you, I don't think either one of them's going there. Shabazz Muhammad's going to UCLA. Noel will be going to Georgetown. There's one of those things that the UK fans, don't be mad at me. You think you got somebody, but they're gonna when they least expect it, come out and just pick a different team because, quite frankly, UK doesn't need them. Because why is that? Because they're getting another guy named by Anthony Bennett.
Okay. Let's go. Trey. Ozzie Guillen is.
Ozzie Guillen, in my eyes, is Ozzie Guillen. I mean, he's done this before. Whenever he was with Chicago, he has meltdowns. I believe last time he was talking about he was disowning the bullpen. And he doesn't, this is what he does. He goes on rants, he gets upset, he doesn't think before he talks. This one I think is also being blown out of proportion a little bit. I feel like, he said he loved Fidel Castro. I can understand why that would hurt a lot of feelings, being in Miami where there's a bunch of Cubans there and that's the fan base.
Okay. Adrena, Bubba Watson's performance at the Masters was?
Unexpected. I think everybody was anticipating Tiger to win this and thought Tiger was going to come off of his, losing streak and come in and win. And Bubba Watson came and showed out. He took everybody by storm. It was unexpected, and he was the underdog of the Masters. And I think he came out, he stepped it up, and did what he needed to do to win the Masters.
One thing is for certain, the man hit out the woods. Matt, take us home. Celtics are?
A third team that's going to be dominant in the East for here on out. Why is that? We changed the lineup. We put Ray Allen on the bench. We put Avery Bradley in the start lineup at the 2. Rondo is rolling. He's getting double-doubles every night. Kevin Garnett's got life all of a sudden. I don't know where this came from. Paul Pierce is doing this thing on the perimeter. Doc Rivers has gotten this passionate, ready to rock and roll, letting the team know, yeah, this might be our last go-around with the big 3, but we're going to make a good push to get the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe get the championship this year. Just watch and see.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to say great job with the buzzer beaters today, guys. And this is definitely not the last time that you're going to see that. We're definitely going to incorporate it. Round of applause to the 3 of y'all. As always, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to MSU Sports Circle. One thing that we want to leave you with very, very quickly. What are some things that we can expect?
Well, I mean, you should expect a good end to the NBA season. Playoffs are going to be amazing this year.
All right. With that being said, tune in. Y'all have a great evening.